when you're pulling all of your data and your metrics together, uh, only you as the founder, as the owner, can have the narrative,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you present data to people without a narrative, without a context, they'll come up with their own narrative. They'll
Mm-hmm.
come up with their own context on what your numbers are. And as much as investors might say, just send me the financials, I make my determination there. Well, you're not really messing with an investor as much as you are, especially a venture capitalist, as much as you are just a bank underwriter, just trying to determine by facts and figures what the risk
Mm-hmm.
is on this deal. So you have to be very careful about what data you give to people because numbers don't interpret themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we say all the time, when you present a piece of data about your company, you also have to tell people how they should feel about it. And you
Mm-hmm.
can tell people how they feel about it by telling folks how you feel about it. And that gives the insight to the potential investor on what to do. And so in our space, we're measuring things like top line revenues, right? Subscription, we call it run rate. So you take your monthly billing, multiply it times 12. That's always ARR, which is your
Mm-hmm.
MRR, your monthly recurring revenues. We're always looking at that. We're looking at churn, what folks are not renewing their subscriptions with us and what impact that has over time. And then we're talking about customer acquisition costs. What is it to acquire a new customer versus the lifetime value of that same customer? So what do we
Mm-hmm.
expect based on our churn rate, the overall lifetime value to be in that subscription? And as we continue to monitor those things, there's a number of other things that you can get into in the SaaS space. If anything, SaaS is a metric-driven industry.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about other potential things that fit your narrative, but it's important. I got in a conversation recently with somebody trying to raise money, and they had said, "Hey, I'm just going to present these pro formas. I'm just going to show a couple slides, and I'm just going to be very factual." And I said, "No, that's great, but you are selling equity.
Yep.
You are out there presenting a story, and these investors have an infinite number of places they can put resources, and they're interested in this high risk, high return segment of startup investing in our case. So you have to give them a story that they can go tell their friends. And then once they have that story, then you back it up with the numbers. So people will make their decision emotionally and justify it rationally. And you have to go in that order, even with your decks, with all of your offer, anything that you're going out to raise capital."